Hello there everyone, and welcome back to Void Wolf Studios. Thanks to the magic of technology, I can make videos, kind of, on my phone, at least. It'll do for now. So, back to catching up. So, Age of Sigmar lore, the Fyreslayers, or Fyreslayers? I don't know, it's spelled F-Y-R-E. I mean, everyone calls them Fyreslayers, but that's not how you spell fire. I guess it's just GW's way of keeping copyright. But anyway, Fyreslayers. Short, angry, bearded dwarves with a grudge against the world and a desire to collect Urgold, the magical remains of the Magmadroth mother Volcatrix and their god Grimnir, the god of fire, violence, and, well, violence. Their god of war, essentially. But what makes these red-crested nutcases different from the Warhammer Fantasy variant? Well, first of all, none of these dwarves feel like they've lost their honour. They are all very much still honourable beings, on the whole. At least they honour their word. And they have a desire to collect this Urgold, because they believe if they can collect enough of it and release the magical essence within it, it will allow them to bring their god Grimnir back. So, in this video, this will be just a quick overview of the story of the Fyreslayers and what exactly they're doing in current times in Age of Sigmar. So where to start? Well, in the beginning, the Fyreslayers were just your normal dwarves. They worshipped all the three gods, Grimnir, Valea, and Grugni. But during the Age of Myth, their god Grimnir, who somehow got captured, it's never really explained how, but Grimnir and Grugni were found by Sigmar bound in chains in the realm of fire. And Sigmar decided to free them because he's a nice guy like that. And Grugni, who chose to pay his debt off through time and work and, well, labour, Grimnir was in no such mood. He wanted to pay back this debt right then and there, as soon as possible, for he hated being in anyone's debt. So Sigmar decided that, well, if you want to pay it all off in one go, how about killing this massive Magmadroth that has been bothering me, one of the legendary god beasts. And so, Grimnir went off to go find it. And in a titanic battle that levelled mountains and created lakes of lava, these two beings fought and exploded, their essence sinking into the earth and creating these deep golden veins of ore known as Urgold. In time, many of Grimnir's priests found they could discover this essence or feel it, so they started digging it up and making runes out of it, and believing that if they make enough of these, they will bring their god back. But it wasn't just trying to bring their god back that was discovered. There was an extra effect. The Fyreslayers suddenly had a strange kinship with the Magmadroths, the creatures of Volcatrix, now have a kind of kinship with the Fyreslayers. Perhaps the essence of Volcatrix merging with Grimnir has made this happen, we assume anyway. But in any case, these creatures who were once just eat everything on sight, now, when raised from an egg, they will allow Fyreslayers to ride on their backs and go to war together. And these creatures are not unintelligent, they are intelligent creatures. But yeah, if you want to fight a Magmadroth, you're going to have an unpleasant time. These creatures are literally made of lava, volcanic rock, and can spew fire from their blood. These are not creatures you want to have to fight. They are brutal. And with their massive, virtually metallic teeth and claws, they're going to mess you up something silly, unless you can hit it enough times and, well, dodge the spewing fire blood that comes out of their veins. So what are the Fyreslayers doing right now? What is their purpose besides restoring Grimnir? Which they have done in considerable quantities. They have amassed a large amount of the Urgold, but there's so far no Grimnir, so there must be more of it lying around. And they will viciously and zealotly fight anyone who they suspect of having Urgold. Doesn't matter who they are, whether they be order, destruction, death, or chaos, they will fight them and reclaim the pieces of their god. Other races mistakenly take the Urgold and use it to make magical items, because Urgold is very easy to enchant. So a lot of races don't even realize they have Urgold. Only the Fyreslayer priests can actually detect this stuff. And so, if they find you have some, and you don't hand it over, well, they're going to get pretty grumpy with you really fast. And that usually implies an axe to the face. With the Necroquake happening, the Fyreslayers find themselves in an odd position. They have lost many of their holds in the realm of death, however, their priests' powers have become far greater than they ever were, even being able to summon volcanic lava from the ground and, well, cause all kinds of interesting effects. But right now, their biggest concern and interest is in the fact that there are rumours that Grimnir is abroad, and might even be hidden underneath the mountains in the realm of metal. There have even been several agreements and alliances between the different dwarven factions, the Dispossessed and the Cardon Overlords, as well as the Ironweld Arsenal, who've decided that it is time to reunite the dwarven gods, finding a way to bring back Fyreslayer, who has been missing or dead, and hasten the return of Grimnir. For the dwarves believe that if all three gods return, then a new age of prosperity will happen for their race. And that is where we currently are with them. So we have mentioned Urgold and runes. So the reason that the Fyreslayers are so ridiculously strong and well able to run around and fight things without wearing any armor is because of this magical Urgold. The priests make it into runes that they then, well, there's no other way of saying it, stamp into their bodies. This gives them magical effects and powers depending upon the kind of rune stamped onto the dwarf. This tends to mean that your Fyreslayer is far stronger, tougher, and faster than the average dwarf because of these magical effects. Hell, the magic can be so powerful sometimes it makes their eyes glow yellow with fire. It is these magical effects that allow Fyreslayers to fight on par with some of the deadliest creatures in the Age of Sigmar world, and not have to worry about armor to do this. And with their magical axes, it just makes it that much easier. So to briefly summarize, Fyreslayers are incredibly angry, religiously zealot-minded, axe-wielding, magmadroth-riding nutters. And they're awesome. I really love these guys. And yeah, I love the magical runes, I love the fiery effects they all have. I love how tough they are brilliant. It's an interesting new take on the Dwarven Slayer, and I'm fairly happy with it. The Fyreslayers have been so successful across the realms that, well, yeah, they have many holds across the realms. They have lost some, of course, against the various other factions, but they're also reclaiming them surprisingly quickly. Even during the Realm of Chaos, the Fyreslayers were holding their own, beating back the forces of darkness whilst also putting a fair few kick into the crotch of the other factions whenever they felt they needed to. It's just how hot-headed they are. Although, on the whole, they prefer to fight alongside Order, mostly because Order tends to pay up, whereas all the other races in the different factions tend to be somewhat less scrupulous and will try to double-cross them in some way. And Fyreslayers don't tend to have the patience for that kind of nonsense. They will happily destroy the city that promised to pay them for their protection if they fail to pay up their gold or Urgold. Yeah, just don't do it, guys, unless you're prepared to have an angry magmadroth to the face, fire and metal claws and all, as well as some incredibly angry and vengeful bearded nutcases running rampant through your city, burning it all to the ground and taking the gold anyway. Yeah, just don't double-cross Fyreslayers, it's just simply not worth it. I hope this has been a fairly understandable intro into the Fyreslayers. I'm sorry if it's a little bit rushed. I'm, as I said, trying to do this all on my phone, and it's all a little bit tricky. But I hope at least it gives you all a general understanding of where they are right now, as well as their motivations and, well, what they're doing in the world. The Necroquake really, it affected them. They lost many holds in the Realm of Death, but frankly they gained more than they lost in terms of understanding. In any case, I just wanted to say thank you so much to all my new subscribers and everyone who's been watching my content, particularly the Age of Sigmar faction one. I must have really hit the algorithm correctly because I'm getting so many views on that video. But please feel free to look at my other content as well, and I hope you all enjoy it. Please comment, like and subscribe, And yeah, thank you all so much for the support. Hopefully the computer will be fixed in the next week or so, and then I can get back to normal. In any case, until then, I hope you all have a fantastic weekend wherever you are. And once again, this is Void Dwarf Studios, saying to all you people out there, take care everyone.